Hello to one and all watching this video. Hope everything is going great in your life and you're extremely bored. I'm Anek, the technical project lead of IEEE student branch Geetham, and today I'm going to be teaching you the basics of Arduino Uno, the components packed onto the board, the Arduino IDE, and we'll be running our first code today. Guessing you're inspired to learn this stuff, I'm wishing you a happy learning experience. These days, Arduino Uno is a go-to board for all the enthusiastic people who want to make their own engineering projects. It is a convenient package of commonly used components and a microcontroller. We can make projects that are as simple as blinking of an LED to as complex as making of a robot. For people who don't know what Arduino is, well, Arduino is an open source hardware and software company that designs and manufactures single board microcontrollers like Arduino Uno. Before we get into the specifications of the board, let's see what a microcontroller is and how is it different from a microprocessor. A microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern a specific operation in an embedded system. A typical microcontroller includes a processor, memory, and input-output peripherals on a single chip. The microcontroller used on the Arduino board is Atmega328. Whereas on the other side, we have microprocessors. Microprocessor is a simple CPU that does all the logical tasks. The memory, input-output devices are all connected to it externally, hence making it costlier and consuming more power than a microcontroller. Intel Pentium is one of the most famous microprocessors used across demographics. One of the boards made by Arduino that's commonly used and will be used in our series is Arduino Uno. Let's see what are the components installed on the board and how do they work. So Arduino Uno has a microcontroller named Atmega328. It has a flash memory of 32,000 bytes, static RAM of 2,000 bytes, and electrically erasable programmable read-only memory or EEPROM of 4,000 bytes. We can power the board in different ways. 1. Using standard A to B USB cable. 2. Using AC to DC adapter plugged into the barrel jack, which can support up to 12 volts. 3. By supplying 5 volt through 5 volt input pin. 4. By using batteries that are greater than 5 volts and supplying the voltage through V-in pin. For our projects, we will be mostly using the first method. The board also has voltage regulators, crystal oscillator of 16 MHz, one built-in LED for projects, one power indicator, 2 transfer and receiving LEDs. There are many resistors, diodes, capacitors, regulators, and a fuse that come in with the package. Now the craziest part of all, the different pins on the board. We have a reset button and a pin. 14 digital pins, out of which 6 are pulse width modulation pins, 3 voltage input pins that are 3.3 volts, 5 volts, and a V-in pin, 6 analog pins, 1 analog reference voltage pin, 1 in-circuit serial programming or ICSP pin. These are a lot of pins, right? You will get to know where to use what when we start doing our projects. So hold on. Now I guess that's enough of electronics from this dumb guy. Let's see how to install the Arduino IDE into our computers.
Let's go to the official Arduino site by just searching it on Google. The first thing that you get in the Google search is exactly what you need, but not clicking on this will make things complicated. Just click on this option, Arduino software, which will land you in this web page. You can see this piece of software here. Well, this is used for coding online for people who don't want to download it. You can use this, but for our purposes today, we will not look into that. Let's focus on downloading the Arduino IDE. Here you will have you'll have two options to download in your Windows system. You can use the installer thing or the zip file. I personally use the installer thing and I would recommend the same to you. Um, but you can also go ahead and download the zip file. It's all up to you. Also, because I've downloaded this installer file already, I don't want to go through it again. You guys can simply download it. It's having all the steps. Just follow the steps that's given when you download it and install it. If you guys get stuck anywhere or have any issues downloading or installing the file, don't forget pinging us up in the comment section. We are always ready to help you out. This is how it will look when you open this amazing piece of software. Nothing cool about it though, it's a pretty simple interface. You don't have any sci-fi stuff going in here. But yeah, now when you open a new window of code that I've opened right now, you see two functions already placed for you right there, which are void setup and void loop. Now, don't go bananas seeing these loops. They are there over here for a reason, right? So the setup function that you see here is used when the sketch, well, the code in an Arduino IDE is known as a sketch, as you can see right here. As you can see right here, the sketch, when you start the sketch, the setup function is initialized. This is specifically used for initializing the variables that you will declare or mentioning the pin modes. Well, I know I might be sounding crazy to most of you guys right now. Believe me, just hold on for a few more minutes. When we start coding our first Arduino code, everything will get clear to you. Okay, so the setup function only runs once when you start the code or power up the board, or also when you reset the code. The next function is loop, void loop, which does exactly what it sounds like. It executes over and over again until there is a breaking condition that is mentioned by the programmer, or you get irritated and stop the board, which I do when the output isn't what I want it to be. Now, I know that was a lame joke, but you have to bear me if you want to learn things from me. That's how I go about it. So, jokes apart, for the next step, you will have to plug in the Arduino Uno to your computer. As I've plugged in my Arduino Uno to my computer, you will see me getting the board and the port options. So if you haven't plugged it yet, you have to plug it in before we go to the next step. Click on the Tools tab where you get a drop down of overwhelming options. Ignoring all of those options, just click on the board option where you have to select the board that you're using. That's Arduino or Arduino Uno. Click on that. Once again, go back to the Tools drop down menu and click on the port option where you get all the ports that are being used right now. Right now we are using this port that is being used by the Arduino Uno. So click on that port. Now we are all set to code and run that in our Arduino board. The code recommended for every first timer is the Blink code. So let's go ahead and see that. Go to the file option, go to examples under it, and there you'll find a lot of options over here which are really overwhelming, but go to the first one, that's basics, and click on Blink. You see another window opening, open that up. Now this is the code of the blinking LED. I will explain the code line by line so it gets easier for you to understand it. In the setup function, we are initializing the 13th pin, which controls the built-in LED, hence name denoted by LED built-in, to give an output. Now we can also initialize this any pin to take an input, which we'll do in case of our sensor projects. But for now, we have to give an output to the LED that is built into the Arduino board. So hence, an output is being mentioned initialized here using the pin mode function. In the loop function, we can see our digital write function in it, which provides a high or a low value to the specified pin. That is a 1 or a 0 to the specified pin. Here, this function provides a high and a low value to the LED built-in pin, that is the 13th pin. In the middle of these two, we have a delay function that delays the execution of the next line by a specified number of seconds, which specified number of milliseconds actually. Here it is 1000 milliseconds, hence 1 second. These two delay functions are the cause to which results in providing blinking action. So for 1 second it maintains a high voltage, for the other 1 second it maintains the low voltage. This keeps on happening because this is a loop function, as I mentioned earlier, and giving you a blinking action. Now as this code is already written, we have to compile this. To compile the code, you have to click on this arrow mark. This will be compiling the sketch, and once it's done compiling, go ahead and click on the arrow mark to upload this code onto the board. Yeah, it's done uploading. So let's go ahead and see the output. So as you can see, the light is turning on for a second and it's going off for another second. It's exactly what we wanted, and it's giving us a blinking effect. Ooh, we got our first code run on the board and it's successful. So congratulations to everyone out there who tried it out and got it as well.
Now there are other ways to experience Arduino Uno without actually having one physically, which will be discussed in our upcoming videos. Again, if you guys have any doubts, just use the comment section and address them. We are ready to help you guys out. So stay tuned, stay safe. Until next time. Bye bye.